In the bottom left, folks, in the blue, he is, for PSISTORM Gaming, one of the best Protoss players in the world. Probably second best foreign Protoss. He's MaxPax. And in the upper right, the sun burning in the firmament for Onsyde Gaming, Solar. So we saw Solar lose to Firefly in one of the games where he really just played arguably just a little too overly defensively. And then Firefly got the greed on him, and that just really caused a bunch of problems. And then Solar played greedily enough in the previous two games, didn't take any damage, and, well, was able to kill him. But it felt like Firefly was doing the same thing yes, I understand before you get at me. The Firefly build was a little bit different every time, but it was the same idea. You go Stargate, you get a couple Stargate units to get damage done in that way. And then you go and you get Glaive Adepts, you get 14 to 16 of them, 13 to 16 of them, run across the map, try to find some damage, and then move into kind of a hero style. But Firefly wasn't aggressive as he would have liked to be games 2 and game 3, and Solar punished that pretty heavily. And in fairness to Firefly, it was because his adept timing didn't get nearly as much damage done as it did in game 1, which did not then failed to unlock the map for Firefly to start getting that snowball happening. And well, that's just how it goes. So for now, MaxPax is opening Twilight. Actually, he's going straight Twilight here in this game number 1. No Stargate, nothing like that. And this can be one really of two things. This can be Glaives, and that has become a little bit more popular, but this is Tropical, and Glaives are not a super popular build on Tropical Sacrifice. Or this can be some sort of Dark Shrine play. Those are really the two major options. And, well, even the Warp, even seeing the Robo right now doesn't really... Oh, no, yeah, that's right. Twilight into Robo is DT. Robo into Twilight is Adepts, I think. I should know this. I've cast enough of these games, but I haven't taken a... I need to go take a look. Anyways, Adept shows up in the main base and just gets a scout off. Sees that there's a third base on the way. And there we go. Dark Shrine is on the way. Ha! Mayo needs to learn to trust himself more. So, Dark Shrine will be the play. There's a couple of additional gateways added in. It looks like this will be 3-gate DT. Which is the standard. We have seen, I think it was Gerald messing around with 4-gate DT play. I think we saw actually Hero do it one game as well, where by getting that 4th DT, he could bum rush a Spore, kill it down before the Zerg reacted, and then suddenly there's a dead base. Suddenly there is a lot more sadness if you're the Zerg. But for right now, Solar, he's only scouting the gas in the main. And a Stalker rotates on over. Solar doesn't really know what's happening. He's gonna send the Overlord in, but this Overlord is not gonna get the scout that he wants. He's gonna see the Robo maybe, but he's certainly not gonna be able to see the Dark Shrine. And yeah, this is it's gonna be very interesting to see what Solar reads out of this. As here come the Adepts on the map. Solar, he is adding Spores. Oh, he's gonna get these Adepts, but the War Prism's there. So, well, that's gonna be that, and well, there's gonna be a 4th. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. So, Adepts are in the War Prism. They're gonna run across the map, maybe drop out, and okay, now DTs are warping in as well. This is a committed push coming in from MaxPax right now. And where are our Spores? 1 in the 3rd, that's fine. The natural though, okay, yeah, there's a Spore in the natural as well, but the DTs, there's not a lot to kill them right now. 1 will fall despite that one and trying to get on top of the Queen. Meanwhile, Adepts in the main base where Lings are not dealing with that one super well. So War Prism gonna be zoned out. Queen almost goes down but does not die, and there we go. That's the dead Queen. DT's assassinating. Adepts in the mineral line getting a couple workers here. And MaxPax is starting to make this game rather interesting indeed. He's got multi-prong all over the place, but here comes Solar onto the other side of the map. Tons of Lings. Denying a 3rd base, denying a 3rd base if they can. But remember, there is no lair. That's not all that. The defensive DT should reign supreme, but at the very least, we will see the Spore go down, or the probe go down. The recall has to happen. So MaxPax is denied of his 3rd base. This is a super technical game. This is actually just this is such a cool game coming in from really from MaxPax. He goes for that adept DT pressure, which is not something I think I've ever seen. And it snipes a queen. You know, kills some lings, kills some workers, but not a ton. MaxPax doesn't get a ton out of it either. In fact, we would argue that he doesn't quite get enough. But here comes the next round. He's got, I assume these are going to turn into Archons, but right now the lings will, the DTs will gladly trade against those lings when there's no detection. But now, okay, there's the Overseer, so this should be turning into Archons now. No, this is actually so interesting seeing the DTs just exist like this. MaxPax very comfortable with this pickup micro. Instead of turning them into Archons and having these big beefy boys that have a lot of splash damage, I mean, he's doing it now, but he is maximizing the damage that the DTs are getting. Because remember, DTs, they one-shot lings, they one-shot workers. And all of that together does mean that if you're really comfortable in your micro and the Overseer is a little slow, you can absolutely cause some problems. That's going to be a dead queen. So second dead queen over the course of this game, and that's going to be a dead Overlord as well. So, hey, MaxPax finding value pretty much everywhere he looks with these DTs, with these Archons. And here comes Stalkers on the map. Their blink is just about done. MaxPax, have you found the tempo that you're looking for in this game? I'm very curious to find out as now he guns forward. And how well is Solar going to be able to hold on? He's got Archons here, or excuse me, he's got Ravagers. I mean, sure, that's fine. But I am not convinced that that is going to be enough to make this hold happen. The Stalker count here with +1, or soon to be +1, is really powerful. And yes, Solar just has to give this base up. Meanwhile, Ling run by on the other side is going to force MaxPax to warp in at home. But MaxPax gets a base. And if Solar only gets about the 4 workers that he's got, I mean, this pylon will fall down. But now that just gives surface area for the defensive Dark Templar. MaxPax Solar's in a bit of a pickle right now. MaxPax not getting a ton done with those Ravagers, but while Solar losing Overlords, losing bases, and the Stalkers in the middle of the map, they now have +1. The Lings will not fight nearly as well against them, not for quite a while. And again, MaxPax, he's on 56 workers. His economy's not incredible, but it's good enough. It's serviceable, especially when his opponent does not have any, or especially when MaxPax does not have gas at the third base. So he's just going to continue to warp in Stalkers here. Zealot charges on the way, +2 attack on the way. As Solar now feels very pinned. We saw the damage that the Ling run by was able to do. Now, when +1 melee is done, that's going to be even more powerful. But there's no creep spread around this fourth base. In fact, the creep spread in this map is downright abysmal because of the pressure that MaxPax has been putting on. So this is going to be a dead fourth base. Yeah, Solar has to cancel that. And at least luckily enough for Solar, MaxPax does not have a fourth base of his own on the way. This is kind of all in, actually, coming in from the Protoss player, but it's all in, and it seems like it may just work. A ton of Stalkers here on the map. Now they kite backwards, off creep. Lings, we got to knock those down, but there are now going to be Archons at the front. Lings don't fight Archons, not at all. And one DT on the bottom right side, denying mining, long distance mining on that fourth base. So this is going to be a problem. Lings react, but not enough, and there's just detection's going to be very slow indeed. Archons to the front, they need to be there. And MaxPax, can he break right through here? Archon's actually jerking around a little bit, not getting the shot that they need, and that bile is going to land rather nicely indeed. One Archon on the back line. So Lings are starting to fight pretty well against this army of MaxPax, and the bile's keeping him at bay for the moment. Lings now looking for a little bit of a counterattack, it looks like, and MaxPax starting to realize that he needs to get a fourth base here as this Archon gets targeted down. Notice every time MaxPax takes the engage, Solar targets the Archon. He understands that is the reason that his Lings can't fight as well as they would like. So he makes sure that it's dead. The Stalkers again slowly maneuvering their way forward here. Now, I gotta say, as good of a position this is looking for MaxPax, his blink micro is only okay. He's doing a lot of clump blinks. He's not blinking the Stalkers individually, which is where you do find the maximum value. So a Ravager will fall, and Lings will fall as well. But it seems like MaxPax not quite as comfortable with his blink micro as he needs to be. And now that is 17 dead workers as well. But Archon charge lot into the main base. MaxPax pressuring the front as well. The Banelings, well, they're going to morph in, but the Stalkers don't really take all that much damage to it. But Solar starting to feel like he might have enough. Sorry about that. There's my mouse. The drop of the main base has been dealt with. The Archon is going to go down soon enough here as more Zealots get warped in. But there you go. That's dead Archon. Meanwhile, Stalkers on the bottom right side, they will get this fourth base of Solar. At the very least, that is something that MaxPax has going for him. And well, the Zealots, with this +2, they're shredding a lot of the reinforcements. So they run back off creep, and well, as 4 of them are all that remain, that does in fact mean that, well, MaxPax is not in the, or Solar's not in the best spot. He took a lot of damage for that run by, and the Zealot's going to show up once again. This Warp Prism still low from earlier on, but not low enough. And MaxPax, he's getting ready for pressure at the front of the map as well. Warp Prism in one base, pressure somewhere else. And can he make this one happen? Banelig's down, they're warping in, but MaxPax should be able to target those down very quickly indeed. Biles, though, they're going to force MaxPax back for the moment. And the Stalker's on the low ground. These Biles really are absolutely keeping Solar in this game, because this army for MaxPax marauding the front is terrifying, but he is adding an additional layer of tech to this army. We're gonna have disruptors on the way, and that will invalidate a lot of these roaches, a lot of these ravagers, a lot of these disruptors, or a lot of these banelings, excuse me. So at the very least, there is that. Man, I'm trying to micro 2 observer setups at the same time, and it's a little bit difficult. We'll learn. But Stalker's here on this base of Solar that honestly is not nearly as important as it once was, because again, remember, Solar's had this base for a while. It only has 5 mineral patches. It really is starting to run out of money for the most part. And yeah, MaxPax wins in the main base too. That's gonna do it. MaxPax, game 1. In the bottom left, in the blue, up 1-0 off relentless harass, and some pretty nice Blink Stalker micro as well for PSISTORM. MaxPax. And in this final tune-up before DreamHack Atlanta, looking to get the little spicy sauce all ready to go, it's Solar. We appreciate the spicy sauce. Rather tasty. Although the question is, what is your favorite type of spicy sauce? I think it varies by the dish. You know, I've been just using some. I've been actually eating these. I guess we just call them savory oats, where you cook oats just with some salt. I mean, you don't just cook oats as standard. Then you grate a bunch of cheese in. Right when they're done, you melt the cheese into it, and then you saute up some veggies. I've been using like onions and green bell pepper, and then put an egg or 2 on top, and mix that all like fry an egg or 2, put that on top of it, mix that all together, and then put some hot sauce on top, or za'atar and crushed walnuts or something. Depends on what you're going for. It is excellent. Oh, and I made some chili tonight, which means I have half a carton of beef stock. I could make my oatmeal beef stock tomorrow. It's weird to call that oatmeal. Really, it's just a porridge, but it is very, very tasty. And if you sub to Rainer's Twitch, you have access to his all of his sub-only channels on his Discord. And there is a food Discord there, where one of the denizens is in love with oat and posts a picture of her oats every day. But I occasionally post a picture of and her oats are just cinnamon on top of regular oats, which I'm not saying anything is wrong with, by the way, but occasionally, you know, the fancy eggy porridge. Sometimes I just I feel a little bit better about myself. I'm like, look at this fancy oats that I've made. Although it's kind of funny, whenever I talk about anything I cook, and like, honestly, like that's like a 15-minute breakfast. It really does not take all that long. As the F's gonna shade in, but really doesn't seem like, oh, it's gonna go. Oh, okay, this is, man. It's Gerald that loves to do this, and makes sense that MaxPax is doing this as well, considering their teammates. But you put the Adept on the high ground, actually can put pressure on really the back 3 mineral clusters. But as the Lings arrive, and ooh, good position here from Solar, going to try to trap the Adept, but instead the Adept kills the Ling. So, MaxPax, this is inside now. You go Glaives on inside now, dropping in only 2 additional gateways though. And that's actually, this is where things get a little cool. I've been advocating this build for this build for a long time, and we have not seen a ton of it. Solar, by the way, ooh, Solar's pumped a lot of Lings here. He should be able to knock this Stalker down, and as the Adept is rather low, that's not going to be a lot of defensive power either. So Lings now, they're going to go for the full flood, and it is going to get a Stalker, but with the rewall here, MaxPax he's going to be forced to build a second wall. And we talk all we want about this being 3-gate glaze versus 4-gate glaze, but that's not super relevant to the story of this game right now. Solar's going to knock one gateway down. But oh, actually, you know what? The Cybercore is going to be the big target. He gets a lot of surface area on it, so the Cybercore is dead. No more depths, no more stalkers. And that seems like, well, that's what Solar is going to content himself with. Yeah, certainly with the shield battery, that's not going to be all that's relevant anymore. So the Adepts run out on the map here, maybe trying to bait something in. But Glaives are just about done, and the Solar is not going to mess around with that one. But here's the thing. Glaives are done. And Solar's Roach Warren is only halfway done. He will not have roaches for the initial defense. And yes, there is the DRG hold where you hold with the Ling Queen, then you get your roaches. But I mean, look at the creep spread here from Solar. It's only just now going to connect between his two bases. Everything is looking up as the fact that MaxPax, yes, he lost the Cyber, and yes, he lost the Gateway. That's annoying. But everything's looking up here for MaxPax to really commit to this all in, because this is what it's turned into. No longer is this a, oh, well, I'm going to go 3-gate, quick third base. I'm going to go maybe double Stargate behind that. That's what Patty Mac does. No. A 6-gate Glaives here, punishing Solar for the aggression he just put on the map. But Solar's got his roaches already on the way. I am not convinced this is going to get the damage done that MaxPax is looking for. His Queens shadow the Adept Shades, and so too do the Lings, so too do the Roaches. And, well, MaxPax has to give up on that idea for the first time. The Queens will have to be very careful. Do not run off creep. That is where life gets scary. You can't push him back like that. Now, Overlord gets the scout, sees how many Adepts are warping in. Solar should have a good understanding of what this is going to be. And the Roaches here fighting at the front. Lings, actually, they lose track of the Adepts for just a second, but that will be fine. And MaxPax, I mean, he is all in here. He does have 6 gateways. And while he does have a Robo Bay on the way, MaxPax has to get something done with this. His third base on the way now, but Ling is actually on the other side. They're going to try to knock a gateway down, and the Roaches are actually fighting very well at the front. So, well, MaxPax does not seem to have gotten the damage that he wants to find. And Solar pushes him back on both fronts. And now Lair on the way for Solar. He's going to be able to drone up behind this once again, really under minimal threat. Yes, there are depths on the map, but you understand that MaxPax is going to try to keep his third base alive. But of course, there will be, not immediately, but there will be a next round of aggression coming in from MaxPax in this game because, well, first you don't succeed. Try again. So, Disruptor speed. War Prison speed on the way. Disruptors as well. And if you get 2 Disruptors, you can start to assassinate Queens. You can start to get workers here or there. And if Solar's not paying attention, MaxPax can absolutely pull this game back. But for the moment, MaxPax is just kind of behind. Solar can drone with impunity. He's got his 4th base on the way. And sorry, not with total impunity, obviously, but with impunity for just the next little bit of time. So here come Adepts onto the other side of the map once again. MaxPax attempting to exert his will. A couple Adepts on the right side as well. Solar's getting ready. He's got a run by into the third base. Meanwhile, the Adepts try to shade in, but it's only actually 3 Adepts here. Most of them trying to take the fight to the front. Solar losing track of the Adepts in the main base. He's taking the fight to the front well enough. Disruptors, though, on top of a lot of Queens. Do we have a second shot? Not sure that it matters because these Queens are getting very low indeed. But of course, on the other side of the map, Solar eviscerating a mineral line, but 11 workers have gone down. And the shield battery overcharge, keeping everything alive. MaxPax is handling this beautifully. More roaches, they start to fall. The run by has been dealt with. And MaxPax, he gets himself right back into this game. 4th base not saturated. MaxPax, more Stalkers warping in. He does not have Blink though, and that really is the thing that is making life arguably a little difficult for MaxPax to really get the pressure he wants. Now he does have Disruptors, but he can't Blink on top of things. He cannot find the insane cost effectiveness that he's looking for with the Stalkers. That delays things just a little bit, but the Stalkers now, they're going to find their way onto the 4th base, and Solar's just giving this up, it seems like. And no, he was dealing with Disruptor drop here. That gets a little bit of something, but the Stalkers already damaged on the base. But the Roaches, the Ravagers, they will retreat back on over. But the Lings, ooh, Lings looking for a surround. This was the run by force, and they do have +1 now, so MaxPax very much has to run away Well, these drops, they've got 14 workers. If MaxPax can get one more blink back onto his base, he's going to be fine. Kiting slowly backwards here, and he adds more stalkers. His +1 is only about halfway done, though, so he doesn't really have upgrade parity for quite a while. And the base does not fall. I really thought this was going to be a dead 4th base, but it might still be. Stalkers in the middle map here. Disruptors on the flank, but looks like Solar canceled the shots. So they're not going to kill exactly what they want, but man, these are some value disruptors indeed. MaxPax now on the map once again. He needs another round of warp-ins though. And I really, this is one of those games where I really would think I would like to see double warp prism. Because the disruptor drop is very powerful, but well, you need reinforcements here. Maybe it's inside now, so that is short enough. But here come Lings on the backside. MaxPax going to be sandwiched just a little bit, but the Lings are off creep. And the Stalkers, for the most part, they can blink away. They can deal with that one. But actually, with Stalkers into Biles, got to be careful. Where's the warp prism? Okay, dropping behind that, gets a couple more workers, gets a Ravager and MaxPax. I mean, resources lost here. It's yeah. Man, 2,500 resources at this point in the game. And oh, MaxPax, he sees the Banes. Oh, he's going to get all the Banes here. Solar, your dream of harass will have to get canceled. And luckily, he gets some of his money back at the very least. The Banes get canceled before they're fully morphed. This is the most effective Disruptor drop I've seen in a long time. Now they're starting to take some damage, but ooh, okay, one does fall. Unfortunate, but MaxPax starting to build more already, and he's got 2 bases on the way. He's actually got his 4th base done, 5th base on the way. MaxPax's base, MaxPax is starting to eclipse Solar in base count. But at the end of the day, all you really need is one big Baneley connection that can really bring things back in. MaxPax has no walls, so Banelings run in, probes get pulled away, and actually it's only 2 workers following your Stalkers. They blink on over. Solar not getting the damage she wants, but you got to be careful, MaxPax, because there's an army at your doorstep trying to find the damage that you want. So Solar now comes pushing on in to this 3rd base. Disruptor shot goes out. It's actually not going to get all that much, but it's going to get a bunch of Banelings here, and maybe that's going to be enough. And more Banes come rallying on in. The Stalkers on the high ground, they're a little bit stuck. Banelings find their way in the mineral line, and 21 probes, they hit the deck. Solar finally finds the value that he is looking for, but MaxPax's army, that has yet to be dealt with. So MaxPax loses a base, but honestly, he still has 4. And he killed his own observer. That's unfortunate. These zealots are not useful at all. And now MaxPax blinks forward. That one Baneling does not have +2 just yet, so it's just biding his time to get pressure on the bottom right side base. MaxPax now, he does have to get something done. Not do or die, not yet, but it is getting rather scary indeed. Disruptor drop. Gets 9 more drones, brings MaxPax's economy back into this game just a little bit. And now the Stalkers on the front side here, eating the Baneling shots, blinking backwards, trying to fight. And the Zealots actually on the bottom side, they're killing the Lings rather nicely indeed. Now the Stalkers, they got to find some way to retreat here. In fact, they're going to blink on top of the Ravagers, knocking them down, but Banelings on the bottom side. 16, 17 more probes, an entire mineral line will go down. MaxPax has to defend this position. He can, but now his economy truly in dire straits. Banelings, they're trying to find value, but there's no outlying base where there are probes anymore. So instead, they're going to kill some pylons. They're going to kill some static defense. At least MaxPax has 4 Nexus 5th on the way. He can build a lot of probes at any given time. But Solar, and in fairness, Solar's only on 56 workers. Solar's economy, while better than MaxPax's, is not incredible. And this warp in, these Zealots are going to be able to be a little bit more powerful as the game does go on. So, Stalkers, moving forward. Again, the game is really hinged around Solar's 4th base. He has not been able to get a 5th as a shot will go out. It's a very low disruptor, and it's not really going to get what it wants for the moment. There we go. 2nd shot fails to land. And now, there we go. Disruptors are going to get picked up. Kept safe. Stalkers again, microing backwards. But Banelings on the bottom right side here as MaxPax has to retreat. But this time, there are no probes. There are no probes for Solar to kill. So the Banelings, they're going to keep rolling. And MaxPax actually, he canceled his 4th base to make sure he had enough, or his 5th base to make sure he had enough money to make something happen. And now here comes the army of Solar on the map. The army supplies get very equal. with the economy. That is the problem. MaxPax slowly bringing it back just a little bit. These Lings will fall. Zealots dealing with the Lings on the left side. Disruptor flank comes in from behind, but it has to get canceled. Gets picked up. The Roaches, the Ravagers, they turn around. But MaxPax ahead in army supply. Zealots on the right side. Army through the middle. Disruptor shots on Ravagers and Queens. Banelings get good connections there on the Zealots, but that was great disruptor connections, and now MaxPax continues to find himself in a fairly decent spot. By the way, we want to point this out, Banelings into that base. There's nothing, there are no probes there. MaxPax making the intelligent decision of really rallying all of his probes into this one base that he's attacking through. But as much as we've been talking about how MaxPax is on dire straits, how he's only on, I think, it was 29 probes at one point. Now he's at 40. Lost a base here. Really awkward base setup. Solar's only on 4 bases. His third base starting to run out of resources. Only 5 mineral patches there. Now he's trying to get a 5th, as the Banelings will not get much. They get some Zealots, but that's fine. This 4th base is going to start to mine out too pretty soon. This is not a rich Zerg player. He's only on 57 workers, and the shield battery overcharge is going to rebuff that army. So MaxPax starting to realize he's got a 1,300 gas in the bank. He can do something with this. So, well, what do you do when you got a bunch of gas? You build a bunch of Archons. Templar Archives on the way, and this army that Solar's building with just Banelings and Lings, and that is the linchpin of the army. Well, you build 4 Archons. That army will not nearly be as effective as it once was. But Lings now, they're trying to find their way in once again. There's no shield battery overcharge this time. So that's a little bit scary. Where are these Archons? Baneling is trying to run in. MaxPax has no... Yeah, the probes have to get pulled here. The Banelings connect to everything. The probes will fall as well. 7-11, a lot more than that. There's actually no wall in the natural. But MaxPax on the other side trying to find the value. Disruptor shot is actually going to be incredible here. But, oh, okay, you got to be careful. 1 Disruptor remains. It gets him even better. It gets a decent shot. Archon's at the front. MaxPax, he's all in at this point. Kind of. Well, actually, he's only lost 12 workers, but he feels very much all in. But he keeps most of his army alive. Solar starting to get himself a little bit in a better position. He does have that 5th base. MaxPax not able to push through on creep, and the big deal, 1 Disruptor. All that remains is going to try to drop the right side, diminish Solar's economy once again. The Queens are here. MaxPax, he did such a good job of recovering his economy. Such a good job of setting himself like getting back into this game by probing up really well, but putting a lot of pressure on his opponent. But Solar, as the map gets bigger, there's so many more attack vectors that that MaxPax has to deal with, and Solar's doing such a good job of abusing that one. And there's no +3. It's +2 versus +2. The Zealots will not have any sort of supremacy, as there we go. Archon gets morphed in, and actually this might be a little... Well, actually, this Archon will fall. +2 Lings are rather powerful. I was going to say, oh, you know, this might be pretty nice. Get a bunch of Lings, but if you lose an Archon for it, not really what you want. So MaxPax now, he's getting doubled up in army supply, and it's an anticlimactic ending to a really cool game. Solar, he takes game 2, and he ties the series up 1 apiece. In the upper left, in the blue, he won game 1, but not quite enough to call it out in game 2. It is MaxPax. His opponent on the bottom right in the red. Give it up. Solar. I really enjoy being able to have these picture-in-pictures, by the way, because it's always a good reminder just how quick these players are. They're just going all over the place, even in the early game. And yeah, a lot of it's APM spam, but even still. And by the way, just so we're clear, that MaxPax leaving game 2 was not an early GG. It was anticlimactic because it wasn't really after a fight, but MaxPax was well and truly dead in that game. He was half the army supply of Solar at that point. He could not establish another mining base. He was only about 30 workers. he was fighting and clawing to come back in, but there just comes a point where, well, you just go and you realize you can't fight anymore. It's the elephant that has a lion, a pride of lions, clawing at its back, nipping at its hamstrings, harrying it over miles, and then eventually the great beast can fight no more. It lies down, accepts its fate, and that is that. And that's kind of what happened to MaxPax in that game. I mean, MaxPax is not an elephant, although maybe we can talk about it. Maybe his absence at offline events would be the elephant in the room, but certainly, that was just kind of how that game went. He just got worried away, and eventually he fell down. Unfortunate, but sometimes that's just how it goes. I guess it's only unfortunate if you're a MaxPax fan. If you're a Solar fan, it's great. I mean, unfortunate as a caster because there's nothing, there's no really climactic moment for me to get excited about. But honestly, that game did not need a climactic moment. It was just so, really, that was both games of this series were so technical, so all over the place, that were just this incredible expression of skill. That's really all that I care about. Let's be real, folks. Do I care about who wins? I mean, not really. If I'm going as a fan, yeah, I have my favorites. But as a caster, and honestly as a fan even still, I'm biased towards good StarCraft. I just want to see players play really good games. I want to be dazzled by their skill. You know, I want to freak out when a player burrows Banes and wins the game off of it. I want games when it goes back down to like 5 roaches at the end of the game of a 30-minute ZVZ. I want disruptor drops from weird angles to go and blow things up, and you know, I want to see Terrans hit with extreme aggression. Like, I just want good games. That's all I want. I'm not a fan of Zerg. I'm not a fan of Protoss. I'm not a fan of Terran. I mean, in fairness, Scarlet's the reason I got into StarCraft in the first place, so I'm a bit of a Scarlet fan, but I'm just a fan of good StarCraft. As the Lings now, they're going to deny this third base, and this is something that Solar does that not a lot of Zergs do, where he overbuilds Lings a little bit around this time, and he puts pressure on. Does it kill a gateway? Maybe. Does it deny a third base? Maybe. In this case, it got the third, but these Adepts on the other side, they're causing a little bit of consternation, but the Lings now return, and there's going to be one dead Adept. Second one stays alive, but the Lings should be able to chase this one down, and now the Oracles, they may be unlocked onto the other side of the map, but here come the Lings of Solar once again, and the Oracles, they take damage without really doing all that much. But okay. There's a little fun coming in from MaxPax. He's got some interesting ideas about how he wants to play this game, as he's got Adepts, and they're going to shade in probably to the third base. Yeah, there we go. So Adepts into the third as Solar again forces a cancel. Okay, where are these Oracles going? The Adept's getting some level of damage. Oh, that's what it is. Oracles, he knows the drones are going to get pulled, so he gets right on top of it. But the Oracles, one of them does get targeted down. Still, though, 7, 8 workers have fallen into the main base. The Oracle's going to find even more, but there are 2 queens here. So, one more shot. One more shot. Can a queen find its way over? No, not it. No, it's not going to chase it down. A really cool idea there for MaxPax, but does this make up for the fact that his third base has been canceled twice? I'm not sure. At the end of the day, though, MaxPax, it's 4 minutes in, and he finds himself up 4 workers on the Protoss play. And these Lings, they're forcing a lot of force fields here, and the Lings arrive even more. This may be another canceled base. Lings now getting on top of the shield battery, knocking that one down. The Oracle's brought home, and that probably should be the end of it, but I mean, Solar will take a bounty. He gets a shield battery, which had a lot of energy on it, keeping that base safe. He gets 2 sentries, and really, as some Lings do escape, so not bad. Okay, Adepts find their way into the main base, but this time it's only 1, but it still gets 4 more workers here. MaxPax doing a great job hampering the economy of Solar. So yes, MaxPax did in fact have his base canceled a couple times. He lost those sentries, but Solar's only on 59 workers. MaxPax, it is 6:30, and only just now is Solar starting to eclipse MaxPax in terms of his mining. But if we talk about players whose careers would be one-ifs, I mean, MaxPax, if he never attends a LAN, that would be very much one of the biggest one-ifs in StarCraft 2 history. Imagine if, like, it's to the level of, like, imagine if Mario got to 4 GS, or yeah, he won 4 GSLs in a row, and then he had to go to, or he even say maybe he won 3 GSLs in a row, and then he had to go to military, like right in the height of his power. I mean, I guess Hero kind of did that. We saw Classic do that as well. But anyways, Lang's now scouting around. They're not going to find a 4th base of MaxPax because it's not there. Now the Oracles don't really have a lot of damage potential, at least for the moment. They're sitting at home, killing off a lot of Lings. Ooh, Lings are going to find a bunch of Stalkers here. Blink is 5 seconds from completion. And +1 is, well, now it's done. But the Lings are going to, yeah, +1 on these Lings is fantastic. The Stalkers, 5 of them will fall. And that might be enough by itself to deny any sort of pressure for MaxPax. Oh, Sentry. Sentry on the backside. Nope, he's not going to try to pick it up. Lings, though, they will scout out that there's a 4th base on the way for MaxPax on the left side. And actually, this base positioning is cool. Or at least it's important. Because what MaxPax is getting by taking this base is twofold. Not only is he able to get a 4th base, that's important, but he's denying the prospect of the goal from Solar at the same time. And now here comes pressure on the bottom side. We're going to see some station traps go down, but there's no warp in, really. We don't see any gateways, so now Lings, force fields are going to separate the Lings from the Roaches. But nothing on top of the stasis. Not just yet. Another Lings arrive. Once again, trying to get on top of this army. That's a decent stasis trap. It's a force field. And it's kind of funny. One could argue that the stasis traps are better. I mean, I don't think one could argue. It's true. Stasis traps are better than force fields are. But, oh, so many Zealots just go down. Even before Baneling speed is done. But that's a pretty great trade there from Solo. That was like 5 Banes for 8 Zealots. 800 minerals down the gullet. Yeah, you take those as oracles. One of them will fall. And the second one getting very, well, only a little low. That was going to get lower than it was. Now, okay. MaxPax broadening the map. Spreading the map out just a little bit more. He's got the Zealot warp in, and Solar's got a bit of a run by of his own. It looks like Roach harass is not something you see all that often, but maybe he's worried about Zealots running it through the middle of the map or something. But unfortunately for him, well, Warp Prism is there. But by the way, these Zealots, they don't have speed. They're slow lots. There's a lot of them. They are, in fact, slow lots. So their damage potential is not nearly as much as you would like. MaxPax does need to get the charge on the way as he goes into the next round of next level of his tech progression. Disruptor's now getting started. Templar Archives on the way as the stage trap keeps everything safe on the right side. So MaxPax warps in more at home. Make sure that doesn't happen. And the Ling is now trying to put pressure on MaxPax's 4th base. This is how this often goes. MaxPax, nominal pressure, but really has been teching up, staying safe, building this economy at home. And now Solar, as he maxes out here with tons of Banes, is going to try to make something happen. But the Disruptors are here. How good are your splits, MaxPax? This can be 1 dead Ravager, 2nd Disruptor shot. Well, it's going to get, oh my god, it gets so many Banes. And now this army from Solar not nearly as effective as it might otherwise be. Banelings into the mineral line, but only gets 2 probes. But there are still more Banelings in this army. MaxPax, though, superior concave. Does he have a shield battery overcharge? No, he does not. But 15 probes do go down. Even still, that was, yeah, you take that for MaxPax. You only down 7 workers and resources lost. Actually, I thought they would be worse. But getting all those Banelings down really allowed MaxPax to make that hold. And now he's got +3 on the way. Only single robo. So not double disruptor production at the very least. But he's getting his +3 on the way. He is advancing in. Soon enough, we're going to see him take a 5th base. We might even see him take the gold, to be totally honest, with how his map positioning is. But looks like he's maybe clearing out position on the right side to go and take a little bit safer base. But Solar, he's got round 2 on the mind. But remember, round 1, he was up about 30-odd army supply. Round 2, MaxPax is in the lead, if anything. I don't think this pressure from Solar, as it stands, is going to be able to represent nearly as much threat as it did the previous time. But MaxPax does need to rotate his army over to the right side. This does provide room for the Banelings on the left, but the Stalkers are already there, so Banelings, they come rolling in on both sides. MaxPax has pulled the probes, and on the other side of that, pulling the probes as well, but the Banelings, they get on top. 19 probes fall, and that's a little bit more damage. That's a little bit more like what Solar is looking for. But mainly they just knock down a couple morphing stalkers, warping stalkers, email zealots on the other side. They will get dealt with. And that's a little bit better of a position for MaxPax, for Solar at this point. Yeah, the first bit of pressure did not work, but disruptors were not where they needed to be to defend the second round. And that did allow Solar to go in and get decent amount of workers killed. But, well, MaxPax building 4 at a time. Well, 2 at a time at the moment, but he can build 4 at a time. And that has allowed him to tech himself right back up to 64, 65 probes. And yeah, is that technically 4 base saturation? No, but main base, only 4 mineral patches. Natural base, only 4 mineral patches. So MaxPax mining pretty damn efficiently. And his +3 is just about done. So again, we have Solar putting pressure, fainting pressure, really, on the north side of the map where the majority of MaxPax's army is, because it feels like Solar, we're keeping an eye on that blob on the bottom left, as Disruptor's not going to get all that much. Second one also kind of misses here. And, well, is Solar going to be able to get anything done on the other side? Right now, though, looks like the 5th base will fall. There's just no saving that one. Baneleys, they don't want to attack into this army, though. That's not all that great. 18 probes went down, looks like on the 4th base. And again, Solar finds the damage he's looking for. Again, he hinders MaxPax's economy. Solar, for his part, he's taken pretty much every base he can reasonably take on his side of the map. So it is now a 5 base, soon to be a 6 base Zerg. And MaxPax only on 48 workers. But his +3 is going to be done soon enough, and maybe that is going to be the opportunity that the man is looking for. Yes, the hive is done for Solar, but we do not have Vipers. Not just yet. No Adrenal. It's on the way, but it's not complete. And MaxPax has a timing here. His army supplies are roughly equal. His army, in terms of upgrades, is very, very strong. Oh, that's a massive stasis too, my god. That will actually, MaxPax is going to get a lot of this stuff, but, well, so I'll have another run by setup. No, he's just posturing the middle map. A couple Banelings there, but MaxPax, well, it looks like he will knock down about 10, 15 supply of Zerglings, so that is a very nice surroundings trying to get their way out, but Stalkers blink forward, and Archons, they shred them, but Solar immediately remaxes. 28 Lings are on the way. And where does Solar go from here? He's got Adrenal Glands almost done. +1 ranged on the way is a rather interesting decision. Now, okay, here we go. Solar tries to take a fight in the middle of the map. Disruptor shots, they do not land. And that buys MaxPax just a little, or Solar, excuse me, just a little bit more time to remax once again. His run by looks like it found some value, but MaxPax, he's got stuff elsewhere. Zealots on the right side. Drones are just getting pulled away from the rich gas base. So here comes MaxPax marauding forward. 126 army supply, +3 on the ground. The splits there, they're actually going to be very nice indeed, but you got to get on top of these Archons, knock them down. Stasis trap, great force field actually. Oh, the disruptor shot knocks down a lot here from Solar, but he has more where that came from. The disruptors are starting to fall from the right side, from the left side. Biles, though, they're not going to land, and Solar does not feel like his army is doing what it needs to do. MaxPax fighting forward. Disruptor shot knocks so many down, and the Lings, they're just trapped in a time zone. They're trapped in a world where no one can hear them scream. MaxPax takes so much damage in this game. In fact, we're going to actually 69 workers gone by the end of it, but even still, on the middle right, bottom middle, in the blue, up 2-1 in this series. What a way to fight through things. It's MaxPax. In the upper left, in the red, up, down a game in this series, excuse me. But he did a lot of damage. Let's see if he can actually see it through. It's Solar. So we saw MaxPax do all manner of builds through the first part of this series. I can't believe MaxPax came back into that game. It's almost like what he tried to do in game 1. In all honesty, where he where he went and he almost made the comeback, but Solar was able to get that 5th base up. And this time, MaxPax just realized that he had to go all in, so he waited for his +3, but it was pretty close to completion. He went and he just moved across the map. At that point, damage be damned, he had enough money that he was just going to be able to turn it into more army. So first of all, I'm very curious as to what MaxPax goes for in this game. I could very easily see a Twilight play, because this is Moondance. And actually, ooh, a couple additional gateways in the main base. MaxPax, what do you got in store for us here? What's your goal? What's your idea? Going 3-gate with no tech is actually... So there's something that Solar has been, or Hero, excuse me, has been. This is something that Hero's been doing as of late. You get more pressure early, and he's actually doing it in multiple matchups. You get more pressure early. Ooh, Ling in the main base. This might put a spanner into the works. This might. Okay. Solar, he sees everything. He sees the Twilight going down. He sees the gateways on the way, and that is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, these depths are so very low. Are they going to be able to shade out? Where are they going? Are there lings prepared? No, they're not. So the depths, they get out. Ling's on the other side of the map here, but the Stalker plugs the wall. So now, oh, actually, you know what? MaxPax me. So he does have 3 gateways, and there we go. He forces the warp in back at home, though. Granted, there was nowhere else for him to warp in, so the Stalker will fall, and the depths, they shade backwards here. MaxPax has to re-wall, but it's the gateway that is under threat. Shades of game number, what was that? Game number 1, yeah. The first game in the series, but this is a 2-building wall, not a 3-building wall, so it's a little bit harder. And Solar just GG's out? I'm sorry, was there something I missed? Yeah, the Ling Flood just didn't work. There was no damage on the other side. Solar was not supply blocked. Okay, he just didn't think it was going to work. Maybe it's too tired in Korea. I don't know. But MaxPax, he wins the weekly here. EPT 149, the last tune-up before Atlanta. Where MaxPax, he's not even going to be there. Unfortunate.